Once again, dear friends, the seasons turn from heat of summer to crisp air of autumn. It is a time of wonder, a time of cozy nights by a fire with a warm cup of mead, and also a time of remembering those we have lost. Was that chill simply the cold, or something more?
Thinnest veil is upon us again. The time of year where the boundaries between our world and the one beyond are blurred, allowing spirits of the departed to visit the land of the living once more. Who will you see, I wonder? Loved ones, friends, even enemies, who can say? But one thing is for sure, on this thinnest veil, with war rampant on every front, there will be no shortage of souls seeking to walk this mortal plane one last time.
And what of that war? The reports are grim. Despite the best efforts of the forces of the homelands, the exiles gain ground. To the north, the Elendari fight on against Drow forces. Though surrounded and outmanned, the Elendari cling to Estildor. Called Hope's Landing in the common tongue, Estildor is not only a tactical location. It is a symbol of the hope for a new beginning to all who landed there when escaping the burning homelands.
To the south, the mercenaries of the Fallen Sword are besieged by the even more numerous Drow forces. Though cut off from reinforcements, Sentinel's Reach stands as a veritable dam against the flood of enemies that threaten to spill upon our doorstep. Both Elendari and Fallen Sword cry out for aid, for a light at the end of the tunnel. But will it be the light of salvation, or an all-consuming inferno?
In the town of New Haven, the stench of death, or should I say undeath, hangs in the air. Legions of the living dead, the self-titled immortals, gather on the town's outskirts, preparing for a reckoning. Severed from the paths of death, resurrection, and rebirth, they are able to live as they please without the trivial constraints of time or mortality. But to the skeletal rebels gathering around New Haven, the price is not worth the prize.
To be free of the cycle of death, the immortals were instead chained to a place called the Necropolis, the city of the dead, and their souls trapped in jars within. The master of this city, the elusive being known as the Stitcher, is not pleased with this insurrection, and seeks to take power back by any means necessary.
What does New Haven have to do with this graveyard turf war, I hear you ask? Well, companions, New Haven has the unfortunate privilege of sitting upon an active ley line. A ley line is a front of magical energies of sorts, a stream of essence unto which all souls return, save for the immortals. The Necropolis can travel through this ley line, and manifest in physical form, and once it does, it can be destroyed. The immortals would no longer be beholden to the Stitcher's wishes, and, with New Haven's assistance, might be reunited with their soul jars, and finally granted true freedom.
But, dear friends, know this. Though the day grows short, and darkness looms, you need not give in to despair, which is a feeling New Haven is no stranger to. A forlorn creature with haunting red eyes has plagued this town for months, filling anyone it touched with nightmarish visions of their failures and fears. Despondence, they called it. But last month, a group of newcomers met a much different entity. A soft purple glow called them from across the waves. for their help. A fae, a powerful being, rarely seen in physical form. She granted her champions a protective mark against Despondence's nightmarish touch, and placed a ward around New Haven as a whole. Though it still lurks about, those already marked by Despondence finally feel a bit of relief from the harrowing visions it brings. But with the thinning of the veil, how long will that respite and that ward last?
So, friends and companions, though darkness is nigh, there is always at least a soft glimmer of hope. It is up to us then to decide. Do we give in to fear and succumb to despondence? Or do we keep that glimmer of hope alive and fight through the darkness in order to see the dawn?
Our world has changed.